You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
Here he goes, throwing it down! How about a poster? Anthony Davis is on fire!
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now listening to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. I'm Big Q. I'd like to thank everybody, thank you guys, checking in with us on this latest episode of the Pelican post-game report. Episode 250, that's right, 250 on the Pelican post-game report. And in this episode, we'll be recapping the Pelicans' 149-129 win over the Sacramento Kings and the home opener down in the Smoothie King Center. And the Pelicans were once again splendid. The previous Pelican post-game report, we covered it, and you've seen exactly what happened in the contest with the Pelicans exploding. Houston just wasn't ready for what New Orleans had, and New Orleans took them by storm, and the momentum is carrying them into this game, and the Pelicans did not let down. So, as always, we'd like to thank y'all for joining us here on the Pelican post-game report, and in this show, we'll be breaking down all of that great news. So before we get started, I'd like to thank you for joining us, both new and established listeners of the show. Sorry about the delay. We've been kind of busy moving around. A lot of traveling is happening right now, but we will continue to give you great content as usual as our schedule picks up. Now, today's show, Pelican Postgame Report number 250, we'll break the game down. As I said, we'll have interviews from Elvin Gentry and the player of the game, Nikolai Mirotic, will chime in. We also will have some Pelican news and notes to give you, the Pelican post-game report question of the day that we'll also share with you. And then, of course, we'll preview the upcoming matchup on the 23rd as the Pelicans get ready to take on the Los Angeles Clippers. So without further ado, let's get right into the show. Pelicans were able to get it, man. 149-129, big effort. They had a 40-point first quarter and a 39-point fourth quarter, big points in between, and not to mention a 38.3 third quarter as well. So, I mean, the Pelicans doing it big in every major capacity. Of course, a lot of people didn't anticipate the beating Houston and then having a letdown against Sacramento, and they basically a youth team. You know, they got a lot of talent, and they're going to win over time. They're going to be a very difficult young team, and they actually scored 129 points in this game. So a lot of credit to be given to that young team, but they are scrappy and they're going to fight. They just have to figure a way to win. But the Pelicans, on the other hand, man, they're ready to win right now, and they are winning right now. This is the first time since the 2011-2012 season where the Pelicans opened up undefeated in the first two games, 2-0, as opposed to what they've been doing in the previous few years when they've been starting up in the hole. And it's a total different world when you get a good running start at things versus being behind on it. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the team statistics before we dip into the player or individual statistics. The Pelicans in this one played really well. They shot almost 59%. If you average it all, 58.9, might as well say 59%. They shot 59% from the field on 56 of 95 shooting versus Sacramento's 50 of 96 for 52%, which is pretty damn good. The Pelicans was 16 of 31 from downtown. That's over 50%. 51.6 to be precise, versus Sacramento's 10 of 25 for 40%. The Pelicans were 21 of 33 from the free throw line, which is good for about 64%. You know what I say about those free throws. The Pelicans they need to get better and contribute a higher clip on the free throws. They got 33 attempts at the line and only came away with 21. They got to do better than that. But anyway, Sacramento was 19 of 26 for 40%. For 73% from the free throw line. The Pelicans won the rebound battle 60-44 in this when they had 12 offensive rebounds and 40 defensive rebounds. Assists, the Pelicans won the assist war 35-24, 6-6 on the steals. Blocks, Pelicans 4-2. Total turnovers, the Pelicans had 16. Remember what I said, 15, 16 around that mark. That's normal for a Pelican squad that run as fast as they do and move the ball as fast as they do versus just 13 by the Kings. And of course, The fast break points, Pelicans 128-23. Points in the paint, 76-70. And then the personal fouls, 26-25. The Kings had one or more. So very interesting statistics for the Pelicans in this one, as they played to a very interesting crowd. There was full capacity in this game. I mean, the attendance in this one, 18,000, but they had about 17,000 people in that building, about 17,1, something like that. It was just shy of like about 17. So a lot of people in attendance, not a capacity crowd by any stretch, because they could fit up to 18,400 people in that place, but they were at 17, maybe 17-2, something like that. Still a good turnout for the Pelicans to watch them trounce the Sacramento Kings. Now, before we get to the individual stats and breakdowns, let's hear what Coach Elvin Gentry had to say about his team performance against the Sacramento Kings. Here's Coach Gentry.
Well, we want to play at that pace. You know, I think we got to lock in a little more defensively, but, you know, I want us to play at that pace. I think our guys did a good job with the ball movement part of it. You know, we had 21 assists at the half, ended up with 34, 36, I can't remember. But more so than anything, I think we did a good job of finding the hot hand. You know, when Nico got going, we ran a lot of good stuff for him, and I thought our guys did a good job of getting him the ball.
Coach, the Kings did battle. They had you tied at 56, but you mentioned you wish you were better on defense, yet the third quarter your team did kind of lock the game down. How'd they do it?
Well, we did, because I think Drew, he came to the bench and said, hey, look, we got to get going defensively. You know, we'll be all right offensively, but we got to lock in defensively. And I thought Drew did a great job on Buddy at that point, and I think that kind of turned the tide of the game. And then obviously AD and I thought Solomon played really well tonight. I thought Solomon did a good job defensively, but he also did a good job of, just having ball movement and moving the basketball. He's very capable, I think. You know, if he gets his feet set and he shot the ball well in Houston, I thought also. So, you know, that's why the most important thing for us is to have spacing on the floor. When we have spacing on the floor, we're a very unselfish team. So I think when we're driving and kicking the basketball, we'll find the open guy, and especially if a guy is hot, we have a tendency to be able to find that guy, you know, during the stretch where he is shooting the ball extremely well.
And that was Coach Gentry. You heard what he was saying about the team. As you see, he feeling really good, man, about them. But he's saying there's some more improvements to be made. You see, Coach Gentry is always going to give you that real. But I hear he's happy. The team is playing happy. It's a positive vibe all the way around in this here thing. And I'm really happy as the Pelicans continue to show the NBA what they're made of. Now, getting into some of the individual statistics in this game, you look at the top scorer and the player of the game, in my opinion, for the Pelicans was obviously Nikolai Mirotic. Nikolai Mirotic was awesome. 36 points in this game. He had 9 rebounds. People attribute this man and say all Nico is just a shooter. He's a stretch four. That's just a dumb comment. Nikolai Mirotic is so much more than just a guy that'll bust your eyes out. He's a guy that hustles. He gets rebounds. He had 36 points, but 9 rebounds. So that means he's hustling, and 7 of which was defensive rebounds. So he's not only that, but he hustled. 14 of 21 from the field, 5 of 9 from downtown, 3 of 6 from the free throw line, in 31 minutes of action. Nikolai Mirotic was the key man in this thing here. Behind him in the game was, of course, Anthony Davis, our all-world forward. 25 points for AD in this one. He had 10 rebounds, 6 assists, although he did have 4 turnovers, but he was 8 of 12 from the field, 8 of 12 from the free throw line, and AD finished with 25 points on 8 of 12 shooting from the field in 27 minutes of action. So big ups to Anthony Davis, as he did a splendid job in this game. A pedestrian 25, but Anthony Davis, man, is just kind of coasting right now. You know what I'm saying? Nikolai and the bench and a few other players is really helping them out. And that, if they can really keep doing that, then when the games where you need Anthony Davis to step up, he'll have that energy that to be there. He always have that energy, but he'll be ready to step up and take it when some of these other role players start struggling a bit. Drew Holiday, 15 points, a better performance for him. He had a double-double in this one, 15 points and 10 assists with 6 rebounds. He was 5-11 from the field, 5-6 from the free throw line, 0-for-1 from downtown. 27 minutes, he finished with 15 points. Good effort for Drew Holiday in this game. Then outside of him in the starting lineup, other guys that played really well. Elfrid Payton had 11 points and 6 rebounds, 6 assists in the game through 24 minutes, 5-7 shooting from the field, as his defense is showing up and he's attacking the basket. So I love what Elfrid Payton is bringing to this team early on, as he consistently start coming off that triple-double that he have. So big ups to Elfrid Payton. Etwine Moore in the starting lineup, 24 minutes, 5-11 shooting. He didn't hit a three-pointer, but he finished with 10 points in this affair. Off the bench for the Pelicans, Julius Randle, 24 minutes, 6 of 12 from the field, 1 of 2 from downtown, 0 for 4 from the free throw line. Julius Randle, man, if there's any knock on him, he is a terrible free throw shooter. He got to work on his free throw shooting because he's going to get to the line a lot and he's leaving a lot of points at that line. So Julius Randle, please work on your free throw shooting. But everything else, he's fine. 13 points, 14 rebounds, massive 14 rebounds with 13 points in 24 minutes of action to help seal the deal. And also off the bench, Ian Clark got some extended minutes. He had 18 minutes, 4 of 4 shooting, 3 of 3 from downtown, 2 of 2 from the field. He didn't miss a damn thing. Finished with 13 points on the afternoon. And then the only other double figure score was Darius Miller, who finished with 10 points and 2 assists in the game as he had 23 minutes. He finished on 3 of 7 shooting from the field, 3 of 7 from downtown, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. He finished with 10 points. So the Pelicans did a really excellent job. Now, before we get into the breakdown with Sacramento, let's see what Nikolai Mirotic has to say about his player of the game performance against the Sacramento Kings. He is Nico.
Can you all keep this up? That's our goal. I remember when we were talking in preseason that we kind of want to play even faster in the last year. The people had doubts. I think a little bit players, we did too, but right now we've been just playing fast, sharing the ball, playing very unselfish, just reading the game. And the big thing is we have a lot of shooters in this team. Big guys, they can push the floor, they can push with the ball, create for the smalls. So, man, I mean, we're looking great. I mean, just 2 games, as we said, but with this chemistry that we are having right now, the way we've been working hard, we're gonna be a really good, solid team.
That was Nikolai Mirotic chiming on his effort against the Sacramento Kings. Big ups to Nikolai Mirotic. Of course, he's playing in the final year of his contract. And the Pelicans, I got to tell you, he adds so that shooting and that hustle ability. He fits so well next to Anthony Davis Bandits. You got to double AD. You got to double Drew at times. That opens him, Etwan, more up for shots. And Etwan, you leave Nikolai Mirotic open just for a second. He gets that shot off so fast, it's ridiculous. He gets hot. It is over. You know, it's just one less weapon you got to worry about, Anthony Davis. And if they're going to say, well, we're going to double down Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday and let Nikolai Mirotic beat us, you in for a rude awakening because he can definitely do that, as he's seen what he did with the Kings. So very good game for Nikolai Mirotic. Big ups to him. Now let's look at the counterparts for the Pelicans in this game, as the top scorers that finished for them were, of course, Willie Cauley-Stein. He finished with 20 points on the night with 7 rebounds. He was in foul trouble a lot in this game. He finished with 4 personal fouls, got in foul trouble over there, so he could probably had a better game. De'Aaron Fox finished with 18 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds. This kid's going to be special as he builds. Buddy Hield, our old first-round pick, 17 points. In the game off the bench, Bagley, 19 points, 8 rebounds. Bagley is going to be a special player for the Sacramento Kings. You should wait and see. Frank Mason, the backup point guard, at 18 points off the bench as the Sacramento Kings start the season 0-2. Pelicans are 2-0. So Pelicans looking very good in this game. Now, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to preview. We're going to talk a little bit more about this game, and then we're going to preview the Pelicans' next matchup against the Los Angeles Clippers. All that on this side of the break, so stay with us. You listen to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. Stay with us.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000. Celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast and customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
What's up, sports world? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Post Game Report, Rapid Fire TSC, and others, we will be expanding out and offering other content like movie, anime, and gaming reviews for your entertainment. So if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share. And help the PRO Media Network reach 10,000 subs. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
That's right, for all things Pelicans, you're listening to the Pelican post-game report, and we are back. As first segment, we got into the meat and potatoes of the Pelicans win over the Sacramento Kings. On this side of the break, we're going to preview the upcoming matchup on the 23rd of this month against the Los Angeles Clippers in the Smoothie King Center. That's going to be a really good matchup and a really good opportunity for the Pelicans to go 3-0 on the season. So big ups to the Pelicans. Now, before we jump right into that preview, I want to talk about the fact that it got past me that the fact that the Pelicans did sign guard Tim Frazier. Now, this happened a couple of days back. They signed Frazier on the 17th to 18th of this month and released Troy Williams. Now, this was done in accordance with the fact that they did trade Alexis Jinka for Wesley Johnson, who is going to be a forward. And they had an abundance of forwards, and Troy Williams was obviously the guy that they want to get rid of. I'm sad to see him go because I thought Troy Williams would have been a very special component to the team. But Wesley Johnson does bring, and you can listen to the previous show to get my full breakdown on Wesley Johnson. I won't do it again, but it's an interesting part. But they did release Troy Williams, who they picked up from the New York Knicks during free agency. They released him to clear a spot for Tim Frazier. Now, of course, if you guys listen to the show, the Pelican post-game report of last year, and then the Sports Coma, where we always covered the Pelicans, I'm not a Tim Frazier fan. I really am not. And the reason why I'm not, you can listen to the old shows to understand what I was talking about. But Tim Frazier is a guy that I always said that for a little guy, a little point guard, he gets to the paint and always dishes the ball back. He does really weird stuff. He doesn't shoot a good enough percentage at the point guard position. I really think the Pelicans would have done a better job by keeping Jared Jack. I just don't like the fact that they keep recycling these retreaded players like Tim Frazier back here. It's the reason why we got rid of him. And it wasn't like he learned a lot from sitting on the bench with the Washington Wizards. He rarely played, if anything, then we picking him back up. I think Jared Jack would probably been a better move because of his veteran ability. He knows he done seen it all. He shoots a better three-point. I just don't like Tim Frazier's game here. I don't think he fits well. But anyway, he's back. He got some minutes in his game with the Sacramento Kings, by the way. But releasing Troy Williams to bring Wesley Johnson in, and now Tim Frazier is here. I just wanted to make mention of it, that I am aware of the fact that Tim Frazier is back on this team. So, yeah, yuck. But anyway, let's get into the rest of the game, finishing up the breakdown on the Pelicans and the Kings. Now, Pelicans done away with the Kings. They move and look forward. They're sitting in the Southwest Division. They're 2-0. They own an undefeated team there. They beat Houston to start the season. Houston were able to beat the Lakers last night. They're 1-1. San Antonio's sitting 1-1. Memphis is 1-1, and Dallas is 1-1. So everybody's tied for the second. The Pelicans can continue to keep their lead by taking down the Clippers, moving ahead. Now, of course, point to the game top. Right now, team leaders in points of the game through 2 games is Nikolai Mirotic. He's averaging 33 points over the last 2 games. Can you dig that? 33 points over the last 2 games for Nikolai Mirotic. Drew Holiday's averaging 9 assists over the last 2 games. And of course, Andy Davis shooting a ridiculous 64% from the field over the last 2 games. So of course, that's going to change and go down or go up depending on how these players do. But it's early in the season. Everybody's excited and raring to go. Now, the defensive end, Andy Davis is through 2 games, averaging 13 14 boards a game. He's leading the game in steals with 2.5 and blocks. So he's leading the rebounds, steals, and blocks. 2.5 for both the blocks and steals for Anthony Davis. And that's what a phenom, second best player in the NBA will do behind LeBron James, is do those type of things. Lead the team in multiple top statistical categories. Now, moving ahead, after giving you that little news on Frazier and Eddings, let's look ahead to this Clipper matchup. Quite obvious that the Clippers are a team in flux right now. Of course, they have a very rich owner, richer than most owners. We got a pretty rich owner in Gale, but this guy here is probably one of the top, probably second behind Paul Allen, who just passed away, who was the owner of the Seahawks and the Trailblazers. This guy's probably somewhere up there from the Clippers. His team is in kind of a flux right now. If you look at their team, they're kind of building, but this is a dangerous, weird team. Very dangerous, weird team. They got different pieces. Tobias Harris is the top man there, and rebounds and points, he's averaging about 22.5, shooting 46% from the field. Through his first two contests, the teams are 1-1, the Clippers are. And the rebounds, he's leading the team in rebounds with 10 a game. And of course, Patrick Beverley leads them with 5.5 assists per game through 22 minutes. You know that the statistics on the rebounds, who's the top scorer, Nikolai Mirotic, averaging 33 a game. Rebounds, Anthony Davis, 13, Drew Holiday, 9. Only one injury to make mention of for the Pelicans is Wesley Johnson. No injuries for the Clippers, so they come into this one healthy. Pelicans averaging 140 points a game versus the Clippers 103 points per game. The Pelicans are allowing 120 points a game versus the Clippers allowing 99.5. The Clippers are a pretty decent defensive team, by the way. Pelicans shooting 56% true to the Clippers are 41, or you might as well say 42%. They're rebounding about 47 rebounds per game. Pelicans 53 a game. Assists, the Pelicans are 35.5 assists per game. If they keep up at that pace, it's going to be very difficult for any team to deal with them. The Clippers are sitting there at 21 assists a game. Pelicans are 3.5 blocks per game versus the Clippers 6 blocks per game. 7 steals a game for the Pels, 3 for the Clips. And of course, we know about the Pelicans 2-game winning streak. The Clippers recently won, and through right now they're 1-1. Pelicans 2-0. They just recently beat the OKC Thunder 108-92. And of course, they lost the opening game against the Denver Nuggets 107-98. So as it stands right now, Pelicans get the Clippers, and it's looking, a lot of people saying that this will be a matchup where the Pelicans should actually beat this team. And I have to agree with you. You take a look at what the Clippers have. They are a team and definitely in flux. Right now, they're sitting in tied for second place behind Phoenix. Both of those teams 1-1. The Golden State Warriors are the top team in the Pacific with 2-0. And then the Lakers and Sacramento are both 0-2 in the cellar. Lakers won't remain there very long. Looking at what the team is bringing, what kind of game would this be in the Smoothie King Center? Could we expect an upset from the Clippers? I'm not going to say an upset. I think the Pelicans should be able to get this game. You know what I'm saying? The Clippers are not worse than the Sacramento Kings, but because they have a lot more veteran leadership there. But looking at what the Clippers are bringing, man, they don't have a star or nothing like. They got rid of DeAndre Jordan right now. I'm not expecting much out of this team, to be honest with you. That's not to say that I'm underestimating the Clippers, by the way, because they have some good players. Tobias Harris is terrific on that team. I liked a couple of those rookies that they picked up, those big guards that they picked up. Milo Tesadosic is a good one. Patrick Beverley is a really good defending point guard that the Pelicans came close to landing here. Then you have Montrezl Harrell. He's a terrific 4/5 if you need him to be. So they have pretty decent talent, Los Angeles Clippers. And this team is trying to find itself, and they're going to be a scrappy team to deal with. They're going to be fighting every step of the way. But I just say, I just like the fact what the Pelicans are doing, and I just think they will win this game. I think that they will definitely win this game and ultimately end up going 3-0. Not to be against the Clippers, but I don't think the Pelicans are going to lose to the Clippers. I'm just my take. They're going to be at home and they're going to be on guard for that. They're playing on a real high level right now, and they're still feeling themselves. So the Pelicans, Drew Holiday is still feeling it. Anthony Davis, Nikolai Mirotic might cool off a bit, but Julius Randle and all these guys, they have a nice mix of talent that's starting and a bench depth to go along with the start, and that's carrying them. Think about it. The way the Pelicans are playing, they have a really good matchup, a good lineup with the starting line. Nikolai Mirotic with Anthony Davis. You got Alfred Payton distributing the ball, playing defense. You got Drew Holiday still kind of on that level. He had 15 last game. He's going to try to climb and keep that defense. That brings his offense up. Etwine Moore is going to start shooting better. That's just his niche. And then off the bench, you got guys like Julius Randle that's going to come in. It's going to be a terrific time for the Pelicans as they're going to keep the streak rolling. moment. So that's my thinking on the whole matter. So as always, I'd like to thank you guys for chiming in and listening to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. The question of the day is the last thing we want to talk about on the show. The Pelicans post-game report question of the day is, can the Pelicans continue to streak and keep things strong against the Los Angeles Clippers? Put your comments, and remember, all comments will be read upon the next show. So if you think the Pelicans can keep it going, I'm for one thing. So, how far can they take this thing? Please comment, share, and like, and subscribe to the channel. Of course, we're no longer on the main channel. The Pelican post-game report is his own creation. We have now have a channel, so please get some of your friends, family members, and Pelican fans to all come over and check us out here at the Pelican Post-Game Report channel. So thank you for joining us on the Pelican Post-Game Report. As always, go to our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/PRO Media Network and become a contributor or donator. There's certain perks that comes with contributing and donating. You get an opportunity to get shows first before other people, all that kind of great stuff. Go to patreon.com/PRO Media Network, and that link is in the description section below, or you can join our Facebook. You can also join our social media pages. Those links are in the description section below, and support our sponsors. Those links are in the description section below. So from the crew at the Pelican Post Game Report and me, Big Q, thank you for listening. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. Teabox temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With Teabox, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out Teabox.com. That's right, Teabox.com. Check the link in the description section below. Go to newfrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fast becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessory, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. Newfrog.com has up to 70% off on some products. And you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think Newfrog. Newfrog.com. Check the link in the description section below.
There's a reason he's always Employee of the Month. And why no shirt and no shoes is no problem. There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAstore.com has all the gear.